see everything, and
To gamers like us, Dr. Wily was a part of our childhood. But how can a man survive dozens of exploding fortresses? And how does he keep coming back? Well, let's find out in this video as I tell you how.
remember this, Dr. Wily always strikes again.
How does Wily keep coming back? The Wily cycle is the longest running gag in gaming. Every classic game follows a strict cycle. We fight through 8 robot masters, we infiltrate a skull-themed fortress, we dismantle a massive Wily machine, and we corner the Doctor in his escape capsule. Then comes the moment when he drops to his hands and knees and begs for mercy. But have you ever really looked at the logic of his survivability? The Mega Man series is famous for never giving us a clean death. In the original Mega Man, he simply begs for forgiveness, and Mega Man lets him go. By Mega Man 2, he's trying to convince us he's an alien, and he escapes while the fortress crumbles. I remember thinking as a kid, how does a guy so old move that fast? The first major fake death happened in Mega Man 3. This is a personal favorite of mine because of the scale of everything. After the battle with Gamma, the entire fortress begins to crumble. Mega Man and Wily are buried under literal tons of steel and rock. Now, Proto Man swoops in to save his brother, and Wily is left behind. When the dust settles, all we see is a silhouette in the distance. It's the first time the game asks us to wonder, did he survive? Well, I for sure thought he was dead, but I was wrong. The later games tried to be more direct, yet they always left an exit. In Mega Man 4, he escaped in a pod after using a decoy. In Mega Man 5, he framed Proto Man and hid in a castle, disappearing once again as things fell apart. By Mega Man 6, the world had enough of his nonsense. After the tournament arc and the reveal of Mr. X, Wily was apprehended. The shock of seeing him behind bars in the ending credits. Finally, justice. But then, Mega Man 7 happened. Wily had anticipated his capture and programmed 4 backup robot masters to activate and break him out. Man, this guy is smart as hell. He's always 5 steps ahead of the law. Even in Mega Man 8, where he's nearly consumed by evil energy, he finds a way to control it. In Mega Man 9, he tricks Mega Man with a fake redemption video before trying to frame Dr. Light. You see the pattern here? Every finale leaves just enough wiggle room. They are refusing to close the book. Every time we think we've found the end of his story, the next game shows, and he simply transitioned to a new scheme. Oh well, I have to admire the guy's work ethic. Then comes Mega Man 10, the last time we see of him. Chronologically, if we look at the progression of the classic era, Mega Man 10 offers the most bizarre exit for the character. The plot revolves around Roboenza, a virus that causes robots to malfunction and eventually go crazy. Dr. Wily shows up as a victim whose research was stolen and says that he wants to help. As always, the twist is that Wily was the one who created the virus himself. He used it to hold the world hostage and would offer the cure only to those who would serve him. Then he gets sick. For real. No, not with a digital virus, with a real illness. During the confrontation in his space station, he collapses from a high fever. Mega Man doesn't leave his enemy to die and takes him to a hospital. And this is the last canon moment of Wily in the classic timeline. He's lying in a hospital bed, and for the first time, he looks old. I almost felt bad for him while playing, but of course this is Dr. Wily we're talking about. He slips out of the hospital in the middle of the night, and he just vanishes. However, he leaves something behind, a giant stockpile of the Roboenza cure. Why would he do that? For redemption? Some fans argue that by leaving the medicine, he was clearing his debt for Mega Man for saving his life. Regardless of the motive, he walks out of that hospital without any explosion or begging. Did Wily actually die back in Mega Man 3? Now, there is a very popular theory that the real Dr. Albert Wily died during the fortress collapse at the end of Mega Man 3. I know, it sounds wild, but when you look at the evidence, it starts to feel plausible. In the last moments of Mega Man 3, a stone head falls directly onto the platform where Wily is standing. Now, in the original 8-bit sprites, there is no visible escape, no teleportation effect, no pod flying away. This theory suggests that Wily's human body was destroyed right then and there. Then, who are we fighting in the later games? Every Wily from Mega Man 4 onwards is either a sophisticated robot body double, a series of clones, or most interestingly, a digital backup of Wily's consciousness. This would explain why he never seems to age between the classic games and why he can survive falling from skyscrapers or being at the center of nuclear-scale explosions. But, there's a gotcha moment for every theory, and that gotcha moment for this particular theory is actually the Robo-Enza infection in Mega Man 10. When Wily collapses in the hospital with a fever, there's a hilarious irony. Robo-Enza is a virus that affects robots. If Wily were a robot pretending to be a human, he wouldn't catch a human cold. He would catch the robot virus he himself designed. His collapse might have been his internal systems failing due to the virus he's created. It's poetic, isn't it? A creator destroyed by his own creation while trying to use it for evil. Official Capcom bios still list him as a human, of course, but the theory is so popular because it fills the gaps that logic cannot. Anyways, I love this theory. He built robots all his life and ultimately became a robot himself? Sounds good to me. What the official bios won't tell you. If you check the official Mega Man records, you'll find a lot of data on Wily. You'll see his height, his weight, his blood type, and a list of his hobbies, like table tennis and karaoke. I always find it funny that a man trying to take over the world enjoys karaoke. Now, these bios recall his history in great detail, like his time at the Robot Institute of Technology, his early collaboration with Dr. Light on the double gear system, and his jealousy when Light's work was favored. They always stop at the present moment of the game they belong to. There is no death date listed. They tell us what he did without saying what happened to him. This is a deliberate choice. Capcom is keeping the character available for any future sequels. To give him a definitive death would be to end the classic era. We know that by the time X is found by Dr. Kane, Wily and Light are long gone. Because the descriptions refuse to say how he died, well, we'll never get a proper answer anytime soon, I guess. How Wily still haunts the X era. This is where the story gets dark and where Wily's madness reaches its peak. Yeah. The classic series never gives us a death scene, and yet we know that by the time Mega Man X begins, Wily the man is long dead. But the idea and influence of Wily, that is very much alive. His influence on the X era is arguably greater than his influence in his own era. His greatest legacy is Zero. You find out through various hints and the Power Fighters arcade games that Wily spent his last years creating Zero, who was built to be the god of destruction to eventually kill Mega Man. Wily's ghost literally or figuratively haunts the X series in several ways. In Mega Man X4, Zero has recurring nightmares. There's a shadow of a man with wild hair and a lab coat. The man tells him, "Destroy him! He is my rival!" Even though Wily isn't physically there, his commands are still hard-coded into Zero's subconscious. Next, there's the Maverick virus, which drives the entire plot of the X series. Dr. Wily built a damn plague. He ensured that even if he died, the world Dr. Light wanted to build would be burned to the ground by a virus of his making. Then in Mega Man X5, the main antagonist, Sigma, mentions meeting an old man who knows Zero. Sigma says this man spoke of Zero as if he were his father. This mysterious benefactor even helps Sigma build a body, and let me say this, that the design is too specific to be a coincidence. Finally, in Mega Man X2, we meet Surgis, an ex-hunter who has an impossible knowledge of Zero's internal systems. In the Japanese script, his dying words are a direct apology to Wily. I'll just say it, Dr. Wily outlived Dr. Light, not through health, only through hatred. To me, that's much scarier than any robot he ever built. This man will do anything to prevent world peace. Dr. Wily's story doesn't have a final chapter, and there won't be a final chapter for a long time, it seems. Do you think he died in Mega Man 3 or Mega Man 10 maybe? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's start a conversation. And as always, if you like videos like this, a subscription is the best way to be updated on all our latest content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Marvelous video.